Welcome back. After being in a pessimistic zone for the past year, the Bank of Indonesia Consumer Survey indicates that consumer confidence has returned to an optimistic zone. This is reflected in the April 2021 Consumer Confidence Index of 101.5, an increase compared to 93.4 in the previous month.
The Bank Indonesia Consumer Survey indicates that consumer confidence has returned to the optimistic zone after being in a pessimistic zone for the past year. This is reflected in the April 2021 Consumer Confidence Index of 101.5, an increase compared to 93.4 in the previous month. Executive Director Head of the Bank Indonesia Communication Department, Erwin Haryono, said that the development of the Consumer Confidence Index last month was supported by rising consumer expectations for future economic conditions, which was reflected in the April 2021 Consumer Expectations Index, which was recorded at 122.6, an increase compared to 114.1 in the previous month. The increase in Consumer Expectation Index occurred because consumer expectations of an expansion in business activities, an increase in income, and the availability of more job opportunities in the next 6 months were observed to strengthen. Meanwhile, the survey noted that consumers' perceptions of current economic conditions were observed to improve despite remaining in the pessimistic zone. This is reflected in the Current Economic Condition Index April 2021, which rose to 80.3.72.6 previously. IDX Channel team reported.
The momentum of Ramadan and Eid is believed to be a point of revival for the economy, especially for public consumption. But have the indicators and data shown the same direction so far? To dig deeper, let's take a look at the following infographic. This is Indonesia's Consumer Confidence Index. From February 2020 to January 2021, it was showing fluctuative trend, but by February to April 2021, it was showing positive trend. 85.8 in February 2021 to 93.4 in March 2021. Meantime, in April, on the level of 101.5. The Consumer Confidence Index, which was or has returned to the positive or optimistic zone in April, is expected to continue showing a positive trend in May. Core Indonesia economist Yusuf Rendi said that the increase in the Consumer Confidence Index during this period was inseparable from the momentum of Ramadan, which caused demand for goods and services to increase. This condition is also in line with the inflation rate in April 2021, which increased to 0.13%. Yusuf said that several of these indicators will strengthen the projection for recovery in the second quarter of 2021. And not only the Consumer Confidence Index, the momentum of Ramadan and Eid also has a positive impact in the real sector, especially those related to public consumption, which is divided into several categories. And let's check the data in the next graphic. This is the business subgroup with the highest expenditure value index: supermarket 149.9, health 138.7, restaurant 126.4, household needs 121.6, and fashion 104.2. And public consumption activities can be clearly seen in shopping centers, where since a week before Eid, shopping centers have been increasingly crowded with visitors. Chairman of the Association of Indonesian Shopping Center Retailers, Budiharjo Idwansyah, said that the rate of visits to shopping centers ahead of Eid this year increased by 30 to 50% compared to normal days during the pandemic. The increase in the number of visitors was followed by an increase in sales figures, although he said the number of transactions only increased by 20 to 30%. This is, of course, expected to be a positive indication of the recovery in people's purchasing power, although it still has to be confirmed again after the Eid moment ends. And meanwhile, the momentum of Eid does not automatically become a positive catalyst for all sectors. One of the sectors that had been negatively affected is transportation. And how big is the impact of on this sector? Let's see it to the next graphic. So this is transportation mobility amid 2021 in homecoming ban. As you can see, air transportation dropped by 93%, sea transportation dropped by 90%, land transportation dropped by 40%, train dropped also by 40%, and logistic transportation dropped by 3 to 5%. And the decline that occurred was the result of the Eid homecoming ban issued by the government in order to minimize the possibility of COVID-19 transmission. This drastic decline is actually called by the Minister of Transportation as a success of controlling transportation in the midst of the ban from 6 to 17 May 2021, even though we know it will definitely have a massive negative impact on the transportation business, which usually takes advantage of the Eid momentum to optimize profits. However, even though there is a homecoming ban, the government still ensures the smooth flow of logistic vehicle mobility because it is one of the essential sectors that are still allowed to operate normally. And not only transportation, the hotel and restaurant sectors are also confirmed to be affected by the homecoming ban. And so how is the condition of the domestic hotel sector so far? Let's see it through the next graphic. This is domestic hotel occupancy rates in March 2021. The rate was on the level of 36.07%. Means for this Eid season or the late Eid season of 2020, it was on the level of 14.45%. And the Indonesian Hotel and Restaurant Association estimates that the hotel occupancy rate during this year's Eid will experience growth. However, this is not strong enough to recover the hotel sector, where one of the factors that indicates no recovery, even though the hotel occupancy rate is predicted to increase in the low average room rate or average room price. And hotel occupancy rates during the Eid period are estimated to increase by only 25 to 30%. This growth is not in line with the increase in the average Zoom rate, which is estimated to be below 30 to 40% of the average price. Thus, the increase in hotel occupancy is considered significant for the hotel and restaurant sector. Even in the midst of restrictions and homecoming prohibitions, hopefully this year's Eid season will still be able to have a positive impact on the national economy. Stay tuned on Market Headlines because we'll be right back after the break.